up, everyone? And welcome back to another episode of Two Sisters, One Book. I'm Carla.
And I'm Amanda. We are two sisters, two moms tackling one book at a time.
One of these days we're gonna swap that just to throw people off. You're gonna do that, and I'm gonna do this. The
I think it
opposite.
would throw me off too. I'd be like, what am I supposed to say?
We may have to end the episode early just because we'll be like, we're totally thrown off. So we are back. We are back to talk about chapters 4, 5, and 6 of Obsidian by K.F. Breen. But before we get into that, I am going to kind of do a quick little rundown of what we learned last episode. So we were introduced to our FMC Daisy, who was adopted into the family of magical people descended from demigods. Daisy herself isn't magical. She's what's called a Chester, but despite that, she's been trained as a warrior her entire life. To give her an edge, her mother figure, Lexi, uses blood magic on her, making Daisy stronger, faster, and able to heal quicker than a normal Chester. Daisy is also haunted by reoccurring dreams of a mystery man, woo, she's encountered 4 years ago. Someone who was glamored watching her and whose presence she's felt ever since. We then see Daisy step into protector mode when her brother gets jumped and robbed by his ex-girlfriend and her crew. Daisy tracks her down and discovers the ex is part of an organization that steals rare magical artifacts. While confronting them, Daisy stumbles into an active deal involving a powerful crystal chalice. She and Zorn, who is like her bodyguard, he took her under his wing, go searching for it. And Daisy swipes a few items along the way, including a watch and a strange object pulsing with energy. Just as she escapes, she comes face to face with the man who she has seen in her dreams for the last 4 years. So, that is a little bit of what we learned last episode. So, now, this episode, we pick back up with Daisy unexpectedly running into the mysterious Fey man she encountered 4 years ago. Their interaction is brief, but packed with information. When Daisy realizes he's armed, she tries to attack him, but her weapon barely affects him, only leaving him with a shirtless mess. He reveals he's been searching for something she took earlier, the crystal chalice. He gets what he came for, but before he leaves, he warns her that celestials are coming nearby. Because he used his magic on her, though, they will be able to track her now. He does tell her to run, and then he disappears. Then Daisy reunites with Zorn and explains what happened. She tells him about the Fey man using his powers on her and stealing the stone she took during their earlier ambush. Zorn immediately realizes this means celestials will be coming, and sure enough, they're confronted by one. The celestial reads Daisy's mind, learns about the Fey man, and decides that Daisy and Zorn are really not much of a threat, so the celestial leaves. Afterwards, Zorn opens up about his past and warns Daisy that Fae are ruthless and power hungry by nature. He doesn't understand why the Fae man spared her unless he's planning to claim her and enslave her later. Why did I say it like that?
Don't know.
Let me go back because I was like, why did I make that sound seductive?
I kind of liked it though.
Okay, we'll leave it then. They agree they'll need weapons capable of harming him. Then 6 months passes, and Daisy is still haunted by dreams of the Fey man, some seductive, others terrifying. But in her latest nightmare, he attacks her family and warns her to stay safe until he needs her. Meanwhile, Mordecai is now dating a Chester while disguising himself as one. And we learn about his past illness, moon moths, and how Kyrian helped him gain control of his powers with medicine and time and training. This chapter ends with Lexi worrying about Daisy's upcoming mission, meeting a contact dealer in antique weapons at a charity event so that they can get weapons to fight against the Fey man, since not many people make what they need or are even willing to, for that matter. Daisy reassures her, Zorn agrees to watch her from the outside, and they head out. But everyone is still wary that the Fey man may appear. So that is where we left off. What did you think of those chapters we read, Amanda?
Yes, these 3 chapters were actually a lot of fun. We do get to see just a little glimpse of our mysterious man, because I don't know his name yet. I don't know his name yet. So he's my mysterious man right now. He seems very like put together, and I could picture him like
He's a tease. He's a major tease.
Yeah. So he's dressed to me really fancy. He sees her, he sticks his hands in his pockets. He's all talking to her through like the mind thing. And then I do like how he uses her powers on her so she can't move. And then he's trying to figure her out per se, which is very interesting to me because she does throw a dagger at him. She's like very fast on her feet thinking and everything, and he's all like, this does nothing to me. But what was interesting to me is he did, okay, let me see if I get this right. He tasted her blood, correct?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Weird, but okay. Kudos for him. And he was able to tell, you have powers that you didn't have when I last saw you, and that these aren't your powers, they're giving to you. And what was interesting, because when he said that, he goes, it's not common for a demigod to just give you a power without like you taking an oath, or like, what is that, like a binding thing? Like you can't like,
Mhm.
I do you a favor, you do me a favor kind of
Yeah.
thing. But he figured all that out by tasting her blood. So
So I will tell you
cool.
though, he actually figured it out by reading her mind.
Yeah. Okay. By reading her mind. But and then they
Yeah.
just threw the blood
So
tasting in there for fun then.
yeah, so he read
Bec-
her mind and then was able to like sift through, because she does at one point say, "You're just sifting through my memories," and he's like, "Yeah," and he discovers that Lexi provided her with this magic oath, which gave her powers. Because, like you said, it's not common for demigods to just give their magic away. So he didn't know that they could even do that, which is
yeah. But
interesting.
he did say that Lexi does care about her. So
Yes,
with
and he
all
said, "Let's
that,
keep it that way."
yeah. Yeah, which was fun. And then what was funny is because I always have to like connect something to something. Is your when he did see the big bats in the sky, because that's how she explained it. She goes, "That's too big to be a bird," and they were like, "Oh, it's the celestials coming." I was like, "Oh, it's like the Flash, when he runs back into the Speed Force is catching up to him," type thing. So I was like, "He's naughty! Like he's not supposed to be here. Like he snuck through
Yeah.
and everything." And
Well,
now
and that
I'm
goes to
kind of
show his character.
yeah, and now I'm kind of curious too, because he's all like, what did he say? Like, my king needs that, like, because he felt what was in her bra area. Which then we
Mhm.
find out that that's the real chalice and not what she left for
Right.
Soren. So I
I
was
was
just like,
trying
but
I was trying not to say that last episode. I'm like, okay, don't say it, because I knew that was what it was, but I'm like, nope.
yeah, yeah. So it was fun, and then we do
Yeah.
see that she was like he was fast. He fast disappeared, and then
Mhm.
she's trying to get back to Zorn and everything. And
Mhm.
she was just funny about the whole situation, because she's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
just leave that chalice. It's useless." Like
Yeah.
she's so funny. Like I have like
Yeah.
this typical 19-year-old in my head playing for her. So
Yeah. Now, I thought it was very interesting that this whole conversation that he has, the Fae man has with Daisy, is on a ledge. The entire conversation. They're like
yeah.
stories high, and they're having this conversation. And she's like, "I don't want to fall." And he's like prancing around like so gracefully. His heels are off the side of the ledge, and he's just talking with her, doing all these things. I'm like, he's done this before, hasn't he?
He's like a
Just kidding.
cat. He's a
Yeah.
cat.
But I will say there were a few other things that did stand out to me. So we did talk about the fact that he did use his magic to pin her, which we do find out a little later that that's where celestials are able to kind of sense that she was at some, either is a fae herself or was around a fae. I kind of pictured it as like a skunk spraying you, even though it's not a skunk smell, but like that smell just lingers on you. So that's going to be something that she has to be careful of, because it's going to last a little while. But the other thing that was interesting is that he talks about how he needs this crystal chalice, because they're not just trying to pierce through the gate and get through it, they're trying to go over it. Because there's not enough magic in any of the kingdoms that could give them enough power to break through the gate. So their only option is to create a bridge over the fringe to be able to get into the human lands. And Daisy's like, why would you do that? Like, that's what, why do you need to come here? And he's like, this is the perfect place. We've got a bunch of people here who have no magic. It's perfect to kind of take over and do what we need to do because you guys aren't going to be able to fight back. And she's like losing all this, like, why do you have to come here? You're basically going to enslave all of us. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But the other thing I wanted to bring up too is that he also doesn't understand this sexual tension pull. Like they both feel this draw, I don't know what you call it, but like they're being drawn to each other in a sexual way, and he even doesn't know himself. He's like, I don't even understand what this is, but basically I want you. But they're fighting against each other, you know?
Hmm.
And he doesn't kill her. He mentions that when he was going to go to the house where he was going to get this crystal chalice, Daisy says, well, I already killed all those people. So, I don't know what to tell you about your friends. And he's like, oh, you beat me to it. So we know his intention was to go and kill them and take the chalice. So why does he not kill Daisy when he finds out she has the chalice? Because he had every reason to kill her. I mean, she's human, she's weak. He has no, need for her that we know of. So why didn't he just kill her when he
I
took the chalice?
I think he knows that there's a connection between them. Like he follows her a lot, and he even said, "It doesn't matter if I glamour myself, you always find me. Like in
Hmm.
the garden, like no matter what, you sense me." So I feel like he kind of
Hmm.
knows that there's a deeper connection. And even later on, he goes, "I need you to stay alive or something because I want to have sex with you before before anything." So I feel like he's not ready to give her up until he figures out exactly what she means to him per se, you know?
Yeah, and Daisy herself, I mean, she wasn't even magical back 4 years ago when she was able to sense him through his glamour. And he tells her, there's not many, like in general, not even magical people are able to sense through my glamour. So the fact that her being just human, she's able to sense him, that tells me there's something about her.
I was just gonna say, because we do find out Zorn's grandparent or grandfather was Fae, which then his dad was half Fae, which then he's a little bit of Fae. So what makes us not right now, which you probably let me just go with my pin, okay?
You go. I want you to pin away.
what what makes us say that they're Daisy's parents aren't special or her grandparents aren't special because wasn't she kind of abandoned? Like maybe
Hmm.
they abandoned her to keep her away from the king or something, or am I like on the right track or what's happening?
I'm going to say let's pin that
I
up.
don't want to. Oh gosh.
I love being
Okay.
on this side. I love being able to say, let's pin this up because
Let's put a
it's
pin in
fun.
it. I just see she is very like I want to say advanced for having this blood magic for not that long. She's very fast. She's just, I don't know. You, like you said, there is something about her character already, and she could already sense that he is around, but she's already sensed that her body is attracted. Like, I feel like, I don't know, because I don't know what the rules are. I feel like a fae could be mated to a fae, or maybe, I don't know. Never mind. Let's just scratch that whole pin. Take it out.
I
Take it
like the
out.
pin. Okay, because you have the humans, you have the demigods, you have the fae, and you have the celestials. So we have, which the celestials are actually kind of in the way I perceived it is that the celestials are almost a combination of like the demigods and the fae. Like when I was first reading it, that was my perception. And they're the guardians. They protect things, right? Because the old demigods, which we do learn, they originally had no order. There, it was just all kinds of crazy, and then they decided to create order and laws, and then created the Celestials, put this fringe in between the Fey realm and the human realm to create some type of peace. And so we have Fey, we have humans, and we have Celestials, but they're not all one, like they're not all one group of people, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. We could see Daisy could be more than a human, but we don't know anything really about her family history because we just know that she was abandoned and she was picked up by Lexi, and she was raised by her, which really quickly, because I don't want to forget
Which
this
I feel
later.
like that would be in the other books, probably.
Oh, I'm sure it probably is. I'm sure there's some more of a description, but did you read the part where they said that Lexi was only 10 years Mordecai's senior, which makes her 30 years old?
Yeah.
I was like, she's
Yeah,
30
but
years
it's
old and she's got all these kids.
she has a lot. But she like I like her character too. She's very I
Yeah.
like her mom character that we've learned more about it like towards the end of the section that we just read. Like she
Mhm.
cracked me up the entire time because what I pictured, I was like, that's what me and my brother used to do. Like we would try,
Right.
don't touch your brother. So
So, as Zorn and Daisy kind of are leaving and they're running to get back to the car, I thought it was interesting that they had a conversation about the phase magic lingering on Daisy, right? Because Zorn's like, "Oh, we'll be fine because no Fae entered the bill. We'll be okay. They're looking for Fae and things like that." And Daisy's like, "Yeah, well, he touched me with his magic," and he's like, uh-oh," because it can linger anywhere from 12 to 24 hours. And the stronger the
depending on how
Fae, yep, exactly. So it's like 24 hours, which we know if he's able to read minds and basically portray his thoughts into her mind, he has to be strong because after Daisy mentions that she did that when she was doing research that really only the kings, queens and celestials and very powerful fae are able to read people's thoughts. So it kind of makes you think about this Fey man, like what about him? Because he's clearly strong, right? He's clearly a strong Fey. So I don't know. I thought that was interesting that we knew it would linger for that long. But let's talk a little about Zorn's family history.
okay.
Okay. So Zorn explains to Daisy, which she knew that he had some type of a Fey blood in him, but she didn't know like to what extent. So we get a little bit more detail on that. Turns out that Zorn's grandfather was a part of the Sapphire Kingdom. And he basically went and grabbed who was Zorn's grandmother, who was human, and created Zorn's father, right? But Zorn's
Mhm.
father was kind of a ruthless guy. And I thought what was interesting is the fact that his father only had 50% of Fey blood in him, and he was that ruthless. Imagine what 100% of Fey blood would make somebody,
Oh, that's crazy.
right?
Not 100% blood, but for that particular character, that's crazy. Because he was mean.
Yeah,
He was even mean to Zorn. Like he was very abusive, and to his
it was
mom.
awful. Yeah. But he was telling Daisy, he's like, Fae are just ruthless people in general. They don't just like let you off the hook. So the fact that this Fae man let Daisy off the hook without even attempting to kill her does say a lot. Like, what
But
does
he,
he need something from her? Is what I was going at. Like, what does he need?
yeah, he did. Zorn did say he's probably just toying with you until he's ready to enslave you or kill you.
Hmm. But we
So
also,
now
yeah.
that's in her head. She's all like, "Oh no."
What is this? But I'm gonna pull up my map for you so you can see it. So we have the fairy lands here, right? So the Sapphire Kingdom is all the way up here. Okay, so this is where Zorn's family comes from. But what I thought was also interesting is that the Fey man mentions that Celestials come from the Diamond Kingdom, which is all the way up here, kind of at the top. Like they're kind of up in this ruled um tier of a kingdom, and they kind of look down on everybody. So I just want you to remember that the Celestials come from the Diamond Kingdom. I just want you to kind of put that in your mind.
Okay, I'll
Okay.
highlight it in my
Highlight
pen
it
and in
for
the
me.
notebook.
um, okay. So as we get into the last chapter, we are seeing that Daisy is struggling again with another dream. she finds herself having either sexual dreams about this Fey man or terrifying dreams about this Fey man. And she can't seem to like stop it. It stops her from sleeping. She wakes up in cold sweats. Um, but it is something that's really impacting her. Why do you think that those dreams feel so realistic to her? Because she even says, like, it feels like he's like right there.
Because
Like,
I think he is right there. I think he is purposely doing this to her. Just
mhm,
like how he's able to talk to her, just like how every time she has a dream, she sees him and he glamours himself up. I think he's in her mind. I really do. I
mhm.
can't stay away. He can't. Yep.
It would make sense because he can read her mind and he can portray his thoughts into her head. So why wouldn't he be able to just infiltrate her dreams?
I feel like he's toying with. That's the way I read it. Is that he is toying with her. This poor, and she doesn't know. That's what I was wondering too. I think I asked it in the last episode if anybody's trained her to put like to be able to protect her mind, because she even said like a little while ago that she didn't know if the celestial, she didn't know if he was reading her mind or not, and she's just all like, wow, this feels really weird, because she doesn't know. So I feel like hopefully she learned her lesson, and maybe she will, and then I don't know, but I feel like he is inside her mind toying with
Mhm.
her,
Well, and
putting
the
little
fact that
seeds.
mind readers aren't very common, I would think there's probably not a lot of people who have the experience of being able to help you push someone out, except for somebody who's a mind reader. Maybe,
Yeah, maybe. Oh,
right?
that's a good point too. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe
So
she
if
can't.
she's never met one, she may not know how
Or
to do it.
maybe she is a mind reader and she just doesn't know how to use her powers.
Maybe. We don't
This
know.
is
So we do also find out that this mystery Fey man does mark the people that he kills with a kind of like a white dove. It's almost like symbolic in a way. But what do you think that means? Like, do you think he's leaving her clues? Do you think he's just trying to like tell her, like, look what I'm doing for you? Like, what were your thoughts on that?
that's a hard one. Okay, so my thoughts was because he was basically going after everybody that she wanted to go after anyways, right?
Um, they don't 100% say. They kind of just say that anybody he has killed at this point moving forward from when they met up in that alley, or not alley, when they met on that ledge 6 months ago, that now he's marking people like a dove marking, like, yeah, a feather or something. But he puts that there almost like he's trying to communicate with her in a way.
So maybe he's just leaving them so she gets the point that he's thinking of her or something. I don't know.
It could be. It could be. I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on it. Because it's he calls her little dove, but then yet he is using like a little dove feather almost as a marking on people. And it just
Because
seems very symbolic.
chapter 6 for me was when Mordecai and Daisy were fighting, and he's lying about his younger girlfriend, and she's lying, or she said a bad word, and they were just going back and forth, and she pushes him down the stairs, and then that's when the mama
Hmm.
bear comes in and
Yeah.
all that stuff. But she only mentioned she's worried about the feather being left because she didn't want her to go meet the buyers, or it was just
Yeah.
the meeting she wanted other people to go.
Yeah.
So
Well, I guess then, I guess moving into that, the buyer. So we know that Daisy is going to be leaving and going to this, what is it? It's like an auction of some sort. And she's meeting up with a guy who Zorn found as a contact that will have like weaponry of blades, specifically like antique type things, right? Because they're looking for something that can possibly take down this Fey man. And they don't have anything, they don't know, but the research that they've done says
I
that
have
it
to have the
could
right
be,
runes.
yeah, it has to, yes, and it has to be like made of like a like specifically like magical treated iron that's cold and sharp. And that's the hope. They're like, we're hoping that this will do the trick, but they, at this point, they have nothing that they can go after this Fey man for. So if he is to show back up and try to take Daisy, there's really no way for them to protect her without this. So they need to go and find something. So they're going to meet up with this guy who we learn is like a level 1 reflector. So the like a level 1 a reflector in general is somebody who can take your magic. So if you were to use I think
And
the
then
example they used,
copy it.
and copy it and use it back. So if she doesn't have any powers, he ends up just being a regular human because there's nothing that he can take from her to use against her. And that's why Daisy is so adamant about she has to be the one to go, because Lexi's telling her, let's set Amber, let's set Zorn. Like, why do you need to be the one to go do this? And she's like, well, one, I don't believe that the Fey man is going to actually hurt me. Just with the things that he's been doing lately, it doesn't seem like that's something he's going to do. And two, in order to make sure that we're protected against this guy, he's not able to use my magic against him, or he's not able to use the magic against me, because she's like, I don't have any magic. So she is kind of the safest option to do this. However, then she's going to be working with hand-to-hand combat against him if the man was going to try to attack her, you know?
But I feel like she is really good in hand-to-hand combat right now, so she could
She
totally hold her
is.
own.
And the girl is smart. I mean, we've seen she has been studying the magic in the magic realms of all different types of demigods, like descendants. So she knows what somebody may use and how to kind of deflect away from that or use that to her advantage. So we got to give it to our girl Daisy. She's pretty smart when it comes down to like protecting herself, even
Yeah.
for somebody who doesn't have magic.
Yeah. Well, she has to be. She has to be able to survive in this crazy world she's in.
Mm-hmm. But we also see that being a Chester in this realm is very dangerous because there's not really many Chesters or people in the realm. And if you are a Chester, not only do you have the disadvantage from not having magic, but you also have people who pretty much don't like you because you're in the realm of the magical people. So that's why I think Lexi and the family are so protective of her and not wanting her to go out, because they're so worried that it will expose her, they're so worried that it will expose the fact that she's a Chester, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, do you think that this Fae man will show up to the events? Because they're all concerned that, not necessarily about the guy that she's meeting with, like attacking her. They're more concerned about, what if this Fae man shows up and she's like, he's not going to show up because there's no actual artifacts there that he's going to need. But I guess the only way he would show up would be for her, right?
I feel like if he does show up, it would be just for her. But I feel like the Celestials are either on him or like he has to be like probably can't show up because of them right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I could
Well,
be wrong and he shows up and he snatches her and here's the beginning of our story. So he could take
yeah.
her. She is pretty
Well,
cocky right now.
and one thing that I kind of want you to think about is, we know this Fey man seems to be very smart. I mean, he was able to get through the Fey gate. He was able to break into the human realms without the Celestials getting him or seeing him, or probably even knowing that he's really there. And he's been able to do it multiple times, because we see that he was in the Fey realm 4 years ago when Daisy first encountered him. So we know that he's smart and he's savvy. But when he told Daisy about his plans, about the Fey gate and the whole getting over the bridge, don't you think that he's smart enough to know that the Celestials may look into her mind, which we know they did?
Yeah, he probably does know. Maybe he's I forgot what they're called, but yeah, he would
Mm-hmm.
probably know. And I feel like he is the type of guy who has to be 10 steps ahead anyways. So
Yeah.
maybe
Because he's
his
not going to
time's running
just,
out and he's going to go snatch her. And then because maybe he does know that she's going alone and she probably has no backup right now.
yeah, because like, I don't think somebody as smart as him is going to risk all his plans by telling a girl that he just happens to be sexually flustered over his plans, knowing that the Celestials can literally read her mind and know what he's up to. I just feel like he has to be smarter than that. And maybe, does he know what he's doing? Or do you think it was a slip up?
Ooh. I don't know. I'll have to keep reading because that's a good one. I don't know.
And then just the last thing I wanted to talk about with you is I just love their family banter. I love seeing Daisy with Lexi, with Kieran, with Zorn, with Henry, with Amber. Like, I love this family dynamic because Amber has on her computer things that Daisy just happened to decide I kind of want that information. So she like breaks through her computer, basically gets all the information she needed, and Amber's like, "Why are you trying to break through and get my stuff?" And the way Daisy explains it is, we like to have fun messing with people, like messing with each other, and it keeps us on our toes. And it's the
Yeah.
same thing earlier where Daisy was talking about how they like to play tricks on each other and how Daisy jumped out at Mordecai and scared him. And it's like funny seeing this family camaraderie and seeing how they do it for fun, but they're also doing it to help build, I guess, smarts in each other and how you would do in the real world if like somebody was to actually hack into your computer or somebody was to jump out and scare you, you know? So I thought that was,
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was funny. I like their little family dynamic going on.
Yeah, they're very playful. I like them too.
Hmm.
It's like a typical family. You have the fighting, you have the curiosity, you have the protectingness. It's very
Hmm.
nice. But I do like, I was waiting for it that Daisy has a bad mouth. Lexi doesn't like it. She's like, I'm going to punch you in the face. And
Yeah.
then just the whole, well, Mordecai is holding a secret, and then she's like, "Oh, who's the girl? I mean, woman," and like trying to get more of about this because she wants people to have what her and um, what's his name?
Oh, Kieran.
Kieran have, which then we see Kieran is very laid back around his family because he's just in boxers and a t-shirt, just trying to have his breakfast while everybody is around him, probably causing him chaos. And he's like, "It's my day off." She's like, "You don't want to give us some gloomy, like nice weather outside?" He's like, "No, not really." So
I
no, their
know.
dynamic is very fun and playful. So
Yeah. I like that Daisy tells Lexi, "Oh, Mordecai's dating an underage woman." And then she's like, "She's not really underage, but she just wanted to get her off the subject of her." So she's like just messing with Mordecai. And he's like, "I'm not dating a younger woman. Like she's actually older than me." Like
he's like, "Are
I
you
thought that was
sure?"
funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that was
But
great.
now just really quickly, who is your favorite character so far? Like who do you absolutely love?
Oh, that's a good one. I like Daisy so far, so I'd probably go Daisy, Zorn, see maybe, but probably our mysterious guy is gonna boot all these people to the front once we get to know them. But as of right now, it would go Daisy, Zorn, Lexi. Sorry, Lexi.
Yeah. Daisy is just, I feel like she's just such a different character than what we normally read in a lot of the books we've read. And I love her fieriness and I love her, her, what's it called? Humility, not humility, her funniness. I just love it. I don't know.
Yeah, she is very
But
funny. She's very fast too, like fast
mhm.
thinking, and she's very witty. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
she
I was going to say witty. She's very witty.
typical teenager right there. So
Yeah. Well, that was
sassy.
pretty much everything that we read. I I guess moving forward, we're gonna read chapters. Let's see, 7, 8, and 9. And I'm
Ooh.
very excited for these next few chapters because, yeah, we're gonna see a lot of shifting going on. So
Does she get
I'm very
stolen?
excited.
She
I don't
gets
know.
taken. Oh my.
I'm not saying anything. I don't know. I do,
Yes,
but
you
I'm not
do.
telling you.
Okay, okay.
So, yes. So, for everybody who is reading along with us, go ahead and read chapters 7, 8, and 9. And yeah, is there anything else you want to add before we end this episode?
No, but we love you guys.
We do. And if you're not already, make sure that you go on and follow us. We are on social media at Two Sisters, One Book. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. And where else are we on, Amanda?
Threads.
Yes, we are. We're on all of these social media platforms. We also, if you're listening to us on YouTube, make sure to check us out on Apple and Spotify. And if you're listening to us on Apple and Spotify, make sure to check us out on YouTube if you want to watch along with us. But other than that, I think that's pretty much it. And I guess we'll see you guys on the next chapter. Bye.